Hello, hello, I'm here, people. It's Monday, the 29th of April, heading into May. I'm here, people. I'm okay. Cheers. Let me do that. Let me do my thing. Cheers. It's been an interesting weekend. I got your mix, DJ Trish. Thanks so much. I love your packages of love. Cocktail Hour 2024 for Dereck. And I love how you include me in the mix sometimes. It's kind of cool that I'm on here along with Billy May, Herb Alpert, Keon Harold, then me, Dereck Higgins, then Edu Lobo and Tamba Trio, all the way down to some weather report, and Tito Puente and Moondog, a very eccentric cocktail hour mix. DJ Trish, thank you. I recognize it's a gift of love. And the little, and the stickers that you always put in there, these ones are cool. I hadn't been seeing these little stickers, like little CDs or whatever. There's a Blondie one and there's a Foreigner one. Thanks, DJ Trish. That's so kind of you. Hope things are okay for you. So, back to the recent weather events. It was a surreal weekend. I'm just really feeling thankful that the this round of weather missed my neighborhood. It's the closest it's ever come to where I live in Omaha since my whole life, and we've been through tornadoes before in town, but the inner city downtown area has been spared usually. But this time, there was a touchdown at the airport, which is just east of me. That's the closest it's ever been. That was, I won't lie, it was scary. You know, the power of the wind and the force. I got hail damage, nothing major. The roof is intact, but the vents on the top are battered. And I showed a piece big as a golf ball. I ended up not really doing anything unusual, but was just thankful for my home still being intact. Were people that I know personally impacted? Yes. I'll go ahead and say her name. Raven. A friend of mine, Raven, her dad's house was destroyed. You know, there's nothing that I could personally do. I don't have a truck. So that's been one of the main things that people have been needing, is people with trucks and heavy equipment to move debris. People don't need water. Those sort of things are being taken care of. It was reported over 50 tornadoes in Nebraska alone this weekend. The number varies to a couple dozen to 50 reported touchdowns. Crazy. So it just made me that much more reflective and humbly thankful for my home, that it's still intact. You know, thinking about, insurance can help you rebuild, but when your life is just wiped out, if I get hit, no amount of money can replace this collection. I can buy new copies of some stuff, and that's not even the main thing. As people have been showing, it's mementos, it's little things, the parts of our lives, that make it what it is, that we lose, that are precious. So I'll show some music, because I played music and I really appreciate what It's hard to put into words completely what I'm thinking and feeling, folks. I'm very humbly thankful. Couple of the comments right quick. Someone mentioned they're listening to Autechre. I love them. Now, someone here says this interesting comments you made at the very end. In fact, they are probably using weather modification and geoengineering to cause all these problems. That's the level of evil we are dealing with. You know, I don't say things like that because I don't have proof. It could be, does this person actually know? I'm not into conspiracy theory. I know there's all sorts of stuff going on, but geoengineering is likely, but I don't have proof of it. Could be. The thing that is known is the scientific measurement of global warming and the effects. What's happening in the Philippines? Did you guys watch the international news? So hot that poor families were having to camp out in malls because people are just cooking, literally. Same thing over in India. That heat's coming here, guys. In the west, in the west, here in the U.S. and stuff. That deadly heat's coming, folks. These weather patterns are deadly, and they are changed. It's not going back to what it used to be. Not for a long time. Thank you, all of you people who left comments about my well-being. Thank you. I appreciate the love. I do. So one of the things that I did yesterday, well, let me start here, okay? I was online a little bit. I do enjoy social media, okay? Pure and simple. I enjoy it. So in one of this David Sylvian JBK groups, I showed this, Rain Tree Crow, the record that Japan made up after they broke up, and insisted not to call it Rain Japan because it isn't. It's the members, except for Rob Dean. But this is the Japanese version that came out. You know how the Japanese and how you get those deluxe editions of records. What's going on with my family already? They're out on the West Coast. It's 9 here. It's 7 there. They're up and at it. Someone asked me to review this. Well, you know, I do review what I listen to. I love this album. I love this music. It's very laconic. Is that the word? But it's not Japan. It's not. This is not the natural, to my ears, this is not the natural next step if the band Japan had stayed together. This is very relaxed and impressionistic. And it's nice what they did, but at the end of it, it's like, oh, that's nice. See ya. Really, there's nothing about this that says you need to keep going. It's like they got back together. The vibe was good. They make music together really well. That's it. To me, it's not another Japan album. I love it though. One of the things that I did, the storm brings up all kinds of thoughts. You know, being here alone, family-wise, I was on the phone during the storm with my family. It was comforting. You know, brought to mind my younger brother. Of course, he's in my thoughts often. But one of the things I did was I spent most of the day yesterday and Saturday out in my living room and playing my stereo out there because it's a better stereo. The sun is shining. I try to show you this, but the stereo in here is good. The amplifier is a Proton. Bought it years ago. It's a Proton, some kind of high-end thing. And then the speakers were given to me. It's a funny story. I don't think I want to tell it. Paradigm speakers. They were $1,000 a piece. But the turntable is a USB turntable. It's nothing great, but it works fine. But it was my brother's turntable. I had one just like it that I was using. When my brother died, I gave my turntable to Nick. I mentioned him, my friend who had the crisis. He's doing well now. And I kept my brother's. So there's that. But my stereo out there is higher quality. I have a Pioneer turntable with a Shure cartridge, Onkyo amp. See, I'm not into gear. But I played some records out there yesterday, and my God, that stereo out there is amazing. It was a treat, and it really shows the difference in mastering in records out there. That turntable, boy, if a record is well cut or poorly cut, you can really hear it out there. So a couple things that I played that really stood out to me. It's like, wow, this is really cut well. Is this Tony Visconti 2019 remastering of David Bowie's Space Oddity. Good Lord, this just jumped out. For as old as this recording is, they cleaned this mother up good. Excuse me, I've always liked the song Space Oddity. First thing, of course, yes, of course. First thing I ever heard by David Bowie, you know. And when it come floating in on the radio, it's like, what is this? But this was like, wow. Really, really good. Now, by contrast, I don't have it here, still sitting in the other room. A recent Alison Goldfrapp album that I bought, that I've shown a couple times. I like it. So I played it out there, having high hopes. Ooh. It was like, man, let me get a hold of these mixes. Let me get a hold of these tapes and remix this shit. This is what I was thinking I was hearing. Is it partly in my imagination? My stereo out there proved it. It's like, wow, this production could be so much better. Something else I played out there. They didn't play all of these records I'm going to show you out there, but the ones that I played out there that jumped out of the stereo, it's like, good God, this is good. The new Jlin, Acoma. I've shown this. It's a recent. It's a new release, 2024 release on gold vinyl. Footwork is what they call this genre. She gets it going with these rhythms and these sounds, and this sounded fantastic on my stereo out there. Noticeably so, okay? Another one where, in comparison, it's like, wow, I wish I could have mastered this. Not everything can be mastered. Like someone was asking about Moody Blues records. Well, shit. That was back when there were some really amazing records recorded in the 50s and 60s where it's like, how do they do it? We hardly know. They sound amazing. The David Bowie is an example. In the Moody Blues, I agree. Those records are wonderful records, but the engineering left a lot to be desired. Here's another new album where it's like, man, I wish I could have recorded this. The Anja Huwe. That's how you say her name. Anja Huwe. Codes. I like this a lot. This is deep. Very personal, too. I'm paying attention to the lyrics. They're elliptical. They're not direct, but you get the message. I like this album a lot. Could have been recorded a lot better. I played, I got into music. So I'll show you. I got into Cabaret Voltaire and played all three of these. There's three of them. Shadow of Fear was the one, Decadrone, and then the other one is down here. Shadow of Fear. That's the one I was playing, yep. Shadow of Fear. So these were like, it's almost like, I wonder if Richard Kirk knew he was going to die, because these all came out like seemingly within months of each other with the similar artwork. Real good stuff. Real strong, real powerful. Let me just see what the people are talking about. Okay. Oh, it's always some mess. Jeez, so my youngest nephew's rent is being increased. Man, it's always some kind of shit, isn't it? Sucks. Okay, I love my people. This was the big get off of the weekend. I've always liked this band, and always when I come back to it, it's like it's just the same. Again, when this came out, they were touting it as a thing, big beat, which I never bought into. I just liked the music. But Renegade Soundwave, do you remember that band? And I have to do this in two parts. I have to quick break. So when this happened, I caught wind of the band Renegade Soundwave through watching the TV show out of England, Snub. Remember that? We get it on cable. That's how I learned out about C90 bands and a lot of cool stuff. I loved that show. But when they showed the Cray Twins video, which is nothing, it's nothing cool, big, but it's a cool video. It just caught my attention. But the beat, you know, Cray Twins, Terror in. This is cool. I played this several times because it's killer. I love that about music, that when it hits you, it isn't about anyone else's opinion. It's what it does for you. So I have that. I also have their second single, Cocaine Sex, and I love this cover. And again, that beat, and it's just cocaine sex. That's what it's about. And I really relate to this from personal experience. Yeah, cocaine sex. Get crazy. Get buck wild. This is killer. And even better than those is this. This is my favorite by them. Probably a Robbery. This is a great, great track. I happened to catch a video where someone reviewed them a couple years ago, and I watched it. The person talked about the band's sense of humor, which actually I really was a minor. I really hardly noticed it, but as he mentioned it, it's like, yeah, this is really tongue-in-cheek, these lyrics. I just hardly pay them attention. It's the beats, the tracks, the way they put them together. And on here, Space Gladiator. Man, this shit is killer. If you don't know Renegade Soundwave, I wonder what happened to them. It's like they were here and then they were gone. What else did I play? Well, another one. This is the Renegade Soundwave Left Field Mixes. Yes, baby. That's some good shit. I'm glad I kept those records. Ladytron. Something got me to pull this, and Gravity the Seducer. I love this band. Mirage is the track off of here. Icy. I love it. Played this. Nostalgia Play. Great album. And when I finally saw an interview with the guy that sang on here, I found out he was black, and I always wondered, is the singer on here black? Some people say, well, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does matter to me. So that's why I tell you, okay? Small Creeps Day, Mike Rutherford. That's another thing about Genesis, is all through Genesis, as English as they sounded, the black simpatico has always been there. From the beginning for me, I could feel it. I don't know how to explain it. That's the best I can come up with it, is that these people were cool. These are humans that I would like to know. That's the best I can explain it. Love this album. End up playing side one twice. Mike Rutherford, Small Creeps Day. And someone in the VC gave me an acetate of this. This is, it has that funky acetate smell, which I actually don't like, but Sterling Sound in New York. This is the two sides of this album. I don't play this because it's not what acetates are about. These are references. I don't know who sent this to me, but I thank them so much. So I really cherish this. This is an example of the sort of thing that people lose in storms and tragedies that are irreplaceable. I could buy another copy of Small Creep's Day, but I can't. This. I've had a lot of thoughts like that. Not so much about the records, but just about life in general. The preciousness of life, how we are so caught up in things that we take everything for granted. A few more, because this is in 2 parts. I'm going to have to put them together, and so it'll be like a couple hours before it's online. Got a chance to play the rest of this Randall McClellan that I took a chance on recently. The Healing Music of Rana. Simon Joyner said that he thought this was really good, and after listening to all of it now, I agree. Sides C and D bring it together. Very ambient, very spiritual, very very zen. This is wonderful. He had another by the guy down there in the used section. Next time I go, which I haven't been in the record store since record store day because I just blew out so much money. It was the day after record store day. But if the other one is still there next time I go, I plan to get it. Thankful for the simple things, people. I am. Played this, Parson Sound, before the Tradgrass Oxtenar. This is something that was done in 1967-68. This is wild. This is primal. This is truly psychedelic and just people going great guns. There's a part of here where they're just howling and beating instruments like they're in around it. It's intense and it's fantastic. My repeat song right now is The Outsiders by R.E.M. You know how you get a sound worm or whatever, something that you can't get out of your head? This is the song, and I love it. And I played the whole album yesterday, really loud. Love this band. I want to also say publicly that I apologize to Michael Stipe for years ago being slightly snarky about when we partied. In fact, when I reframe it, it's an honor that Michael Stipe was hitting on me. It's an honor. I used to talk about it differently. Played this Durutti Column. If you don't know this music, it's just so beautiful. The man is tragically ill. Has been all his life. He looks like a living skeleton. Someone shared with me a recent post that Vinny put up about his health. Amazing guitarist. Last thing I'll show is this Far East Family Band. Nipponjin, Join Our Mental Phase Sound. Japanese space rock. Real good on Vertigo. So, I've heard from Dave Hawes from Catherine Wheel. We're going to reschedule. Should be hearing from Edward Caspell either today or tomorrow about our reschedule. The potential to have Stephen Wilson on, that happens after he gets back. I guess he's home later this week and next week in May. So we'll have an update on that. Hope everyone's well. I think we're going to have a Bandcamp Friday this Friday, and I would love to sell you some more music. And I hopefully will have an update regarding that after tomorrow's rehearsal with Blake and the guys. Hopefully. Take care.